Welcome back to our Human Trafficking Awareness video series. This is part 2 of this week's topic, which is the disproportionate number of Black and Indigenous women and girls who are impacted by human trafficking. Today we will be focusing on Indigenous women and children.
When it comes to Indigenous women and girls, there are many factors in play. First are histories of sexual and physical abuse that Indigenous women see at alarming rates. The Department of Justice has data showing that Indigenous women are over 2.5 times more likely to be raped or sexually assaulted than women in the United States generally. The FBI recently noted that traffickers and pimps specifically target Native girls because they can advertise them as a variety of different ethnicities, like Hawaiian, Native, Asian, and Latina.
In a previous video, we talked about survival sex and how it is common amongst homeless and runaway youth. The most universal measure for tracking the number of people living on the street on a given night is the point-in-time counts. In 2019's point-in-time count, it was found that Native Americans account for 10% of those experiencing homelessness in King County, but only make up less than 1% of King County's population.
Indigenous women and girls have been repeatedly and forcibly exploited since the first colonizers came to this country. Indigenous women who were captured in wars between colonizers and tribes were frequently used for sex and labor or sold for profit. This has led to a very unique form of generational trauma.
Shattered Hearts explains this best. U.S. government actions such as extermination policies, religious persecution, forced migration to Indian reservations, and systematic removal of Native children to boarding schools caused repeated exposure to trauma, which impeded a natural grieving process. Each time, past and current trauma were transferred to the next generation, along with the unresolved grief in what has been termed generational trauma or historical trauma.
Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Check out next week for our last video in the series.